Hi, everybody. There's been another zombie attack, a zombie outbreak. And when I tell you it's widespread, I mean, it's unreal how many walking zombies we have out here that are sheeps for the establishment, sheep for the corporate media, sheep for Hillary Rodham Clinton, sheep for the very things that screws them, but they don't care. They don't care. That's the thing what makes it so dangerous, what makes a Hillary Rodham Clinton presidency dangerous, isn't that she's corrupt. Isn't just that she's corrupt. It's that her supporters don't give a damn that she's corrupt. I've never seen anything like it before. Never. What I haven't seen like it before is they ask for facts. They ask for facts. They want you to produce data. You produce them data and then they ignore it. It's like you never even put anything forward. I've never seen anything like it before. This is why we got here. Voting for the lesser of the two evils is the most brilliant strategy ever used against us to keep a rigged system in place. And that's how we got here. We got here through people ignoring the truth. We got here through people continuously voting for people, putting their trust in politicians who don't work for them. They work for the top 1%. They work for the Wall Street. That's what they work for. But people choose to be ignorant. And I'm telling you, since we're coming close to the end of this election, there are zombies on every single corner. Every single corner trying to give you and I sleeping pills because they want you and I to fall back to sleep. Because we are awake now. We don't fall for the BS anymore. You don't tell us that taxes fund federal spending when we know we're a nation that's monetary sovereign. We don't fall for the BS anymore of having to cut Social Security when we know we're a nation that's monetary sovereign. We don't fall for the BS anymore about how free college is unrealistic when we bail out the crooks on Wall Street. The student loan debt can be bailed out the same way we bail out the crooks on Wall Street. Cancel the student loan debt. Abolish it. Abolish the death penalty. Abolish the death penalty. Abolish private prisons. Abolish these nonsense laws like the debt ceiling. It needs to go. It's putting a strain on our economy. It's putting a strain on the American economy. The American economy is not financial constraint, but there are self-imposed constraints on it, like the debt ceiling, like thinking that we're still on the gold standard, so we can only spend so many dollars, thinking that we are actually borrowing money from China, and thinking that we have to cut the deficit by $4.1 trillion over 10 years. That's the equivalent to cutting $4.1 trillion out of the U.S. economy. If we shrink the American economy any more than it already is now, it will send us into a full-blown recession without exception. Period. These Hillary parents, they are delusional. But it wasn't Donald Trump that dropped the bomb on anyone. No one has died at the hands of his bad judgment. Donald Trump is terrible. No one here is voting for him. But when did we get where we are now in America to where what someone says is actually worse than what someone has actually done? How do we get here? How do we get here? I'll tell you how we got here. We got here through people being blind and choosing to be ignorant at any cost. At any cost. They don't give a damn that the person that they're voting for is more right-wing than any Republican in the House or the Senate. Hillary Clinton was trying to privatize Social Security. Hillary Rodham Clinton will slash the deficit. And really and truly what she's going to be slashing is the American economy, the private sector. She's going to be taking money out of your hands, out of you and I's hands, when she's slashing the deficit. Because you can bet your ass that deficit reduction is going to be her main priority, because she wants to show the Republicans that she is just as strong on cutting the deficit too. And her supporters are going to back her 100% because they believe whatever Hillary Rodham Clinton says, she can beat up an innocent person in the middle of the street. And they will say, you know what? Well, everyone does it. Think about this. How we got here. Corruption is corruption when someone else does it. But when Hillary Rodham Clinton does it, it's called, well, everyone does that. Everyone's corrupt. When you talk about the crime bill, it's like, there's a lot of things going around and black people wanted it too. You know what? First off, I don't think black people want the crime bill too. But let me say this for a second. I don't give a damn if black people wanted to. If they wanted to, they were wrong. How about that? How about that? Don't never try to marginalize us by race, by gender, by color, by religion, by who we love. That's the problem in this country. People try to actually marginalize you and say, well, you know, black people wanted to. So that means that I'm supposed to be down for it because you say black people wanted to? Really? As Steve said yesterday, last night, one of his powerful streams, if we don't watch it, we're going to be the first generation since FDR that don't have a social safety net. And the only way we can fight this thing is learning economics, pushing back on economics, pushing back on the fact that taxes fund federal spending, pushing back at the fact that we have to raise taxes in order to pay for things. They say we have to raise taxes to pay for things while ignoring the poor. We can raise taxes on the wealthy, but guess what? That's not doing nothing to help the poor. That's not doing anything to help the people at the bottom of the economy. It's not doing anything to help them. Nothing. Let's at least focus on helping the people first instead of saying we got to raise taxes and get blocked in the House and the Senate. Because there's no one right now that is going to pass any legislation on raising taxes. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. And then there's these morons out here that keep saying, well, Jill's at 2%. I don't care if Jill's at 0%. I can sleep well at night when Hillary Rodham Clinton starts her wars. That is a fact. You know what? It's one thing to have someone to disagree with you. But I have to be honest. We all have different views. We all come from different places in our society. And that's what makes us great. So it's okay for us to disagree on issues. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is there's not anyone on the other side of the table to negotiate or to debate with. Not in good faith. They ask for facts. You give them the facts. They then say, well, that's just a conspiracy. That's not actual truth. So how do you fight that? How do you fight that when people choose to be ignorant? You have people out here that choose to be ignorant and they will fight for their wrong beliefs at any cost. They just want to be right. Me, I just want to get it right. I don't give a damn about being right. I just want to get it right. If I'm wrong on something, I want to get it right. That's what it's all about. I don't know. But we have people out here that are down for Hillary Rodham Clinton at any cost. They will defend her at any cost. And that's right. We're going to vote for Jill Stein. We're going to vote for Jill Stein because we believe in a better America. We believe in the future of America. We want to leave a better America for the next generation. That's what this is all about. These people out here that are gun shy about fighting the status quo, they're not your friends. They're not our friends. They don't rock with us. The people out here that are standing for truth, speaking truth to power, the Jill Steins of the world, the people here in Real Progressives, the people here that follow Real Progressives, they're for truth at any cost. They're for truth. They're the one that's going to be the one to move America forward and usher in a new style of leadership. It's going to be those people. Those people. But these Hillary supporters out here are going to leave us stuck in neutral. No, in fact, we will be lucky if we're stuck in neutral. Because what they're doing is going to take us back. Our Hillary Rodham Clinton presidency, the way it looks is more wars. Trying to cut deficits. She said that she's going to put her husband in charge of economics. You know how that's going to look. He's going to try to balance the budget again. And he'll be able to do it. Because the Republicans are going to sign off on it. The Hillary supporters are going to sign off on it. And that's going to shrink the economy. And then all of a sudden, they're going to want to do a stimulus. Good luck getting a stimulus passed right now. Good luck. We need a balanced economy, not a balanced budget. We need a balanced economy. When they're talking about cutting the deficit, think about what they're saying. They're talking about cutting the U.S. economy. They're talking about shrinking the U.S. economy when they say they want to cut the deficit. That's what they're talking about. When they say they want to cut or privatize Social Security, think about what they're saying. It doesn't work, for one. Two, when you put government debt, when you ask the private sector to run deficits, it doesn't work. It's going to eventually pop. You know why it's going to pop? Because you and I aren't the issue of the currency. We can run out of money. You and I can run out of money. But the federal government can't run out of money. The debt hawks are going to destroy the American economy if we don't stop them now. And the only way to stop them is through education. That's the only way to stop them. The only way to stop them is if when you go to your congressman, when you push for these programs, when you say you want universal health care, when you say you want free college, when you say you want to do these things, they're going to push back. Their main thing is going to say, well, how are you going to pay for it? And if you can't push back and fight them, if you can't tell them how you're going to pay for it, if you can't stand up to them and say, you know what? Don't tell me that you can't pay for something in a nation that's monetary sovereign, where we are in debt denominated in our own currency. Don't tell me those things. You can cut the BS on that. You can cut the BS. Don't tell me it's going to drive inflation, because it's not. Until we be able to do that, they're going to always snowball us. That's what they're going to continue to do. That's what they've been doing for decades. And these people out here that's voting for the lesser of the two evils that's pushing us further and further back behind. Pushing the issues further back behind. None of Hillary Rodham Clinton or Donald Trump are speaking to none of the issues that we're talking about. They don't talk about the economics. All they talk about is cutting the deficit. They don't talk about ending fracking. They don't talk about abolishing the death penalty. They don't talk about ending private prisons. Hillary Rodham Clinton, talks a little bit about doing something different when it comes to criminal justice reform, but she is also the one who's actually praised the law, the crime bill, and took credit for it. The crime bill that sent millions of blacks and brown people in prison for nonviolent offenses. So if you want to take her word for that, go ahead. She talks a little bit about Wayne and in Wall Street, but she's also the person who gets paid $500,000 for a speech. So if you want to believe that, then I don't know. I have a bridge on planet Jupiter that I would love to sell you. If you believe that. If you believe that, I have oceanfront property on Mars I would love to sell you. Hillary Rodham Clinton is not a progressive. She's not going to be a progressive. She's not going to certainly turn her stripes into being a progressive. But now, she will tell you that she's a progressive. At the same time, while she's running through these conservative Republican policies. And her supporters are going to believe her because they believe everything she says. Her supporters are going to believe her because they don't do research and they can't see past the New York Times. That's what they at. That's what they at. That's what we are now. Hillary Rodham Clinton. I know we just got through Halloween, but Hillary Rodham Clinton has been disguised as a Democrat for 30 years. Hillary Rodham Clinton, at a time when Bernie Sanders was out there fighting for civil rights, was working with Goldwater. You know Goldwater, the guy that opposed the civil rights bill. That's what she was. She only became in the civil rights when she seen that it would be politically convenient for her. Listen, if we want a progressive agenda, if we want a progressive movement, economics is king. Economics is centered around everything that we're fighting for. As I said earlier, as I said a couple of streams ago, when the government makes comments about we've run out of money, it's the equivalent to saying that a football team has run out of points. And if the team continues to score any points, we won't have any points to give the other team. Because as Chairman Bernanke has said on many other occasions, the Federal Reserve changed the value in the accounts of the banks. That's how they give the banks money. They mock up the size of the value on their accounts. Keystrokes on their accounts. That's it. When the federal government taxes you, it changes your numbers down. When the federal government gives you a tax refund, it changes the numbers in your account up. The government doesn't lose any money when it gives you any. It doesn't earn any money when it taxes you. Those tax dollars are immediately flushed down the drain. That's how it works. A monetary sovereign nation. In a monetary sovereign nation, you can never run out of your own currency. You can never go bankrupt. You can never have to borrow your own bills. And think about it. Borrowing your own bills in a monetary sovereign nation would make no sense. If I borrowed an IOU, if I gave you an IOU for a cup of sugar, and I realized that I needed another cup of sugar, would I then go back and borrow the same IOU back from you? No, what I would do is I would actually write another ROU, basically. That's what the federal government does. It's a new dollar. Every dollar into the economy is a new dollar. Every dollar taken out of the economy is flushed down a drain. That's what it is. This is keen, guys. This is serious. This is important. Let's learn this. Let's continuously move forward and be able to check our congressmen and check our senators. Until we're able to do that, they're going to snowroll us and snowball us with government deficits. They're going to give us sequester cuts like we have before. Think about it. We got sequester cuts because we wasn't equipped to fight it. It wasn't enough of us. It wasn't enough of us to fight this thing. It's not enough of us to take on Republicans. It's not enough of us to take on Democrats. If we want to stop stupid things like the debt ceiling and sequester cuts, we got to learn economics. We got to learn economics. That's where we at. I'm Kendall Sen Sullivan, and I'm out. Peace. Have a great day, guys.